This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenrail radio playlist. zenrailclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Portian Bakery. If you're located in the Portian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Portian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone can podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. All right, so hands down, the greatest superhero movie of all time came out on Thursday. We thought it was Friday, right? Remember, we were like,
I thought it was Friday.
And remember, we also thought that it was going to be like episodic. It was episodic, but we thought it was like one every week. You know, because that's what they were saying. But did they just make that call different at the end?
I myself never really read into that. I was just going off what other people were telling me. So yeah, because I didn't really.
Well, the things that I saw were like they were. Every time I looked, it was like Snyder cut coming out in episodes. So I was like, oh, okay,
right.
Like
maybe there was a miscommunication somewhere.
Because it was episodes.
Because it was done in parts. They said six. They said 6 parts, but nobody. I mean, there might have been like some, lost in translation kind of thing where they thought that meant 6 episodes or something like that.
Right. Well,
I mean, at first we thought it was 4 parts, right? I thought it was 4 episodes. Then someone said
1 per hour.
Yeah. Then you said 6. I was like, okay, how many? Like, how much did they film? That's what I was thinking.
Right.
And then it's like.
Technically 7 because of the epilogue.
Right. But it was all one movie.
And what a movie it was. The greatest. Well, all right. I think it was the greatest superhero movie of all time. Do you think it was?
Greatest of all time? It's up there. I mean, I'm a big fan of those characters, so I think it did justice to Justice League.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, they totally did. And like, it's interesting to think that, remember when we were like, oh, France, you should totally watch this. And he's like, oh, cool. But then I was like, did you watch the first 2, like Man of Steel and then Batman vs. Superman? Mm-hmm. And then, because if you jumped into this one, you would kind of get it, but you wouldn't really appreciate it unless you watched the first 2, because they really pulled everything back. And like, that's what I liked about this movie. It was like one universal vision. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Zack Snyder did Man of Steel, you said? He did the first 3?
He did all 3.
Yeah, well, all 2, and then the third one got botched.
Well, Well, the third one, sad news happened in his family, tragedy, something happened in his family, so he had to leave. Yeah. Which, I guess Warner Brothers wanted to release it. Then they allowed Joss Whedon to come in. I think he did like the other Avengers, Age of Ultron and the first Avengers.
I didn't even like those ones personally.
You're right. So he came in. It was very different from what Zack Snyder wanted to do, I guess.
Totally. And that's the thing when you watch this one, it like even the opening was totally different. You're like, wait, what is this? Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. Like it was the same movie, but a completely different movie. Like it was the same movie in terms of like you just take the overarching idea of like Darkseid's coming. Yeah, we're gonna band together. Right. That's it. That's the only thing that's really the same. Yeah.
And the like even in the original Justice League, why did they do the reshoots? Like when Ray brought back Superman, he like with that mustache thingy, CGI his face. It's like that looked bad.
And what was the point? Like,
what was the point?
There was no key storylines in there that like really required that because they used none of that footage in the thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is like, what were you calling it? It's like the Mahabharata.
Yeah, Mahabharata or Ramayana. Like it felt to me like a one of those religious epic stories
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
it's like
That you used to watch as a kid.
yeah, or read about in comics and stuff. So it's like this is that for
Yeah,
our
totally.
current day.
Actually, true. Because
Gods.
remember before when we were kids, and then we'd play basketball outside, and then you'd be watching like some Hindu epic, right? And then we'd be like, okay, well, it's gonna be like a movie. We'll call you back out in an hour, and then we'd call you back, and you're like, oh, sorry, it's not even done. And we call you a few times, but like those movies were like 4 hours long. Like,
Well,
was there
I
any,
don't
like,
know.
6 hour
I don't
long
know. I don't
movies?
remember this stuff, but I don't know if that was necessarily those religious ones, but Indian movies in general are long,
Yeah,
right?
great. Like, so that's
But
why
it comes, I guess, from the background of these sort of things, of these epics. They're like character building, right?
right.
Like you've read some of these things, like the whole, like Krishna and
Arjuna.
yeah.
Yeah.
So these are
totally.
like character building moments.
But
And-
that's a small sliver in the entire book, though. Like that one moment.
No, I
that
know,
I read. No, but you're like, oh, you've read it. I'm like, I didn't read the whole thing though.
I see what you mean. Yeah, right. But I'm saying like these are things, the character development parts that are going through a character's mind and like contemplating, right?
Right.
You don't see that in the original Justice League, but you see it
or movies in general.
or in movies in general, yeah. So this one, being like a 4-hour epic, was able to explore all these characters and their backstory and explain it in a way that all makes sense.
Yeah, that's the thing too. It's like when I remember watching the first Justice League, and I was just like, this is confusing and it's like weirdly put together.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you watch this one, it's like every single thing led up to the next thing. It made complete sense.
Yeah, there was a reason for it all.
Like even Stephen Wolf's character, like the main bad guy, right? They're like, oh, he's trying to get back in the good graces of Darkseid.
Right.
But in the first one, you're just like, there's some random bad guy. Why are you here?
Yeah.
They
He's
gave him no story.
exactly. And there was so much more development for him that now I understood what he was doing.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
You could almost empathize. It was like Thanos. You could you get it. You're like, oh, okay, this is why.
Right.
You're like this.
And it was interesting because I mean Thanos is the main bad guy they're focused on, but this one was like a right-hand man kind of person, but he had a reason. He wanted to get back in the good graces
right. Yeah.
of Darkseid. So it was just a much more
Well thought out story.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt like the thing I liked about this movie and why I say it's the greatest movie of greatest superhero movie of all time is it feels like a living world to me. You know, like it's not like filler characters. Like, so what Marvel did, and they have all these like shows and stuff. Now we're building out the MCU, like the real MCU.
Yeah.
You know, but like the DCU was built off, like it felt like there was a DCU in this movie. There were so many characters that you could have gone into, and like if you read the comics, you know their backstories and stuff. It's like this was a comic book fan's dream.
Right. I think, this was what Zack Snyder was trying to build up to. And
Right.
like we couldn't get in the first one of it because of that tragedy, but it eventually did come out that they kind of worked something out, that he did release his version, his Snyder cut. And now we understand all those movies, how they led up to one another.
Yes. And even in like Batman vs Superman, in the epilogue of this one,
Yeah.
you saw like the Flash
Yeah.
come back. Like you saw like how he was tying. It's like,
Because I was waiting for that in the other one. It's like there was no mention of what happened to him in that scene when Flash came back.
why did you come back and go back in time? Like, what was that? What was the importance of that? You know?
Yeah.
But it almost feels like that will also be answered in future movies as well. Like they're alluding to it in this movie.
Again,
but
yes, they
didn't,
were. Yeah, they were. Yeah, because he showed up
at the epilogue.
in the epilogue.
Yeah.
The same guy. So
Yeah.
it's continuing, but
It's not continuing, which is so sad. But I don't know. Do you think they're gonna do like a push for like?
we'll see if
Zack
this is
Snyder, like,
hugely successful. Maybe Warner Brothers wants to push forward and.
Yeah. Like even at the end when they put Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
Right.
A total surprise.
Surprise, but also he was there from the first movie,
He
which
was
is
there
Man
for
of
the first
Steel.
movie. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Man
earlier.
of Steel?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah. It
not
was Man
just-
of Steel.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
cool,
because that's
cool.
when he was the like a military officer guy that they
No, that's Batman vs Superman though.
no.
Okay. Oh, so he came back. Oh, okay, I couldn't remember because I remember
So the
him.
Man of Steel is when they first learned about this an alien, and he came to them. They were interrogating him,
Oh, okay,
and he
okay.
was
And it
behind
was
the
that guy.
glass.
Yeah,
It
got it,
was
got it.
him.
Okay, okay.
He was
I meant because in Batman vs Superman he played a predominant role in that one. Remember, because he was the leak.
right.
So that's where I remembered him from.
Right,
But,
yeah.
but I guess he wouldn't even play like a super intense role in Man of Steel, but he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there you go. So it's like, if you look back now, you're like, oh, that was Martian Manhunter the whole time. So now you can watch those again with a different lens. And I think that's what makes movies brilliantly rewatchable. Like,
Yeah.
a really brilliant movie is one that you have to watch over and over again, and you get nuggets every time. That's also why I like Tenet so much, you know?
Right.
Because like, if you watch Tenet, there's so much in that he planned, and if you're really looking for it, you'll see it. And Zack Snyder, in his genius, like, you could see that he planned it out.
Yeah.
It's much like Christopher Nolan, you know? Like Christopher Nolan, he did Tenet, but I'm thinking about the Batman one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Christopher Nolan, he's known for like making these ultra intense movies with brilliant connections, right? And I feel like Zack Snyder has cemented himself atop of that pedestal, like that Mount Rushmore of directors now with this movie.
Right. For the comic book series stuff.
Yeah, true.
Right.
Like, but yeah, true for the comic book series. But it's like, now you know Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
you know? That could also be marketing, because it was like.
But he's
Zack
always
Snyder's
been
just
doing
like,
that. His art pieces have been. I liked Watchmen,
Oh yeah, true. Like
Sucker Punch. I think that was the other one.
yeah, Watchmen though was really good
Yeah.
in its realism, and it's like,
So that's he likes. I think was it Frank Miller? I think the one that wrote those comics. That's what the Batman v Superman was like that. Like he's
Okay.
using that type of artistic style that was
Yeah.
coming from Frank Miller's.
you could feel the Watchmen in this movie too,
Right.
with like the songs.
The song choices. Yeah.
Probably the best scene was when Flash was saving that girl when he was at the puppy place.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he like ran out, and it was so like beautifully done.
Yeah.
Like the music, it reminded me of Watchmen,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was like, oh, that's that like art piece style, like.
Yeah. That's right. Much more fleshed out Cyborg. I liked him more.
Oh yeah, they
Than
made him
I
like
did
a
in the first
cyber
one.
god. That
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, him at the end with like Cyborg and Superman,
Yeah.
like they were the ones who stopped the what is it called?
In the Mother Box.
Mother Box. What's Tesseract? That's
I think
from
that's
Marvel.
in Marvel.
Okay, cool. Basically the same movie,
It's
bro.
the same.
It's like
They're all
DC
similar concepts, but these are different characters. But even in that, actually, I would say it's Flash who saved the
True. You're
saved
right.
the end
you're
of the
right,
day. It was amazing to see you know what I mean. We knew about that, the hints of that in the earlier part of the movie, where the
Flash was
time
gonna
went
be. Oh, the time. Yeah,
time
yeah.
reversed. But it was like Flash has.
I noticed that when I remember that scene when he was like they were bringing back Superman,
Yeah.
and then he like ran, and then like the picture went backwards. I was like, what? I don't get it. But then later, when he needs to reverse time, he went faster than the speed of light, which reversed time and then brought everyone back when the mother box exploded.
Crazy.
And what's even crazy about that is the graphics for that, because they showed like the skull and the
Everything rebuilding. Yeah.
Yeah, that was sick. Yeah, Flash has always been one of my favorite characters for his wit. He's like Spider-Man to me. Like, they're so funny.
Yeah.
But they really did that in this movie. Like, they made the Flash really cool.
Yeah. Again, more background to these characters.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And also with the Flash too. I don't even know if this Flash was this Flash Barry Allen? His name Barry Allen?
I think so.
Okay, because there's also Impulse.
No, I don't.
He's not Impulse.
think he's Impulse.
Okay, so I didn't know Barry Allen could heal himself really quickly too, because that was like an Impulse thing.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was like, oh,
I think they
that?
said Barry. Pretty sure they mentioned Barry.
Or is Impulse's name Barry Allen too?
I don't know. But isn't Impulse from the future?
He's from the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's from the future.
Oh, okay, true. But he had like these, because I remember Barry, like, Impulse's one
Right.
thing that was different than everyone else's. He's faster than everyone else, and he could heal.
Okay. I don't know. I thought always Flash could heal too. Maybe.
I don't know.
I always
Whatever.
thought that.
Yeah, but now we're just like getting into the weeds of it. Like the real comic book people, they'll know. So it's whatever.
That's right. Yeah, and I think like you can mix in some of these characters, and like I think the only thing that people, if they said anything, was like even though all these characters got a background, Wonder Woman didn't. But Wonder Woman had a movie. So
Prior to this?
No, yeah.
Oh,
It would have been released prior to this, like her first Wonder Woman movie, and then
which was a great movie too.
yeah,
I really like that movie.
I did like that. I didn't like as much as the Wonder Woman '84.
That's a bad movie, yeah.
But this is, leading up to all that. You didn't need to focus on Wonder Woman because she had her own movie already set.
Right. True.
There was
right.
still some like within the mythos of these Amazonians and Athens and Greece and a little bit of that.
What I found interesting, actually, now that you put it that way, it's like, yeah, Superman has an origin movie. Batman had his origin movie. Well, not really, but Batman vs Superman was technically kind of that. It was like a merging.
Yeah,
then,
I mean, we've had lots of Batman movies to the point like I think you should know his story.
But in terms of him putting everything together, like in motion,
right?
Like that was his movie, and then Wonder Woman. So I guess they just needed backstories for these other characters.
Yeah, these are all new characters that none of us knew.
Yeah. What did you think of the like VFX though?
I mean, to the point, I know they needed more to. There was a lot of good ones.
Right?
There was a lot of good ones. I did accept it because,
circumstance.
Because of circumstance.
Yeah,
I think
too.
some of these things, I don't know, like what level of the time he left the project and what was completed, what wasn't completed. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Those opening scenes, like with the Lex Luthor and that guy. Was that Steppenwolf?
Yeah, that was from the other movie, no?
Yeah, but the water looked weird to me. I was like, oh, this is like CG.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Yes. Or he was CG in that water because he didn't look like he was in the water.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I think that the water was real, not him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something looked off to me. I was like, this is an odd VFX moment, but I accepted it because I was like, we're watching the Snyder cut. We're not even supposed to have this. This is like
yeah, exactly.
This is like a privilege.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I didn't know if it was. Yeah, at that point we didn't even know we were gonna get it. So.
Yeah. True. Yeah. So you gotta take what you can get.
Yeah, I think overall, it's for the. I think as a story wise, it was much better, much more.
And this was like a fan movie too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what's weird? Watching this movie, like we waited so long for the MCU stuff, right? Like they've been building on it, right? And like even though Avengers, what was the one? Endgame, and what was the one before that?
Infinity War?
Yeah, so Infinity War and Endgame, that's how that wrapped up, right?
Yeah.
So it was almost like when we were younger, when Iron Man first came out, we were waiting,
Yeah,
right? We were like, oh my God, this is, and then we watched it and it was great, right? It was great, but it was like, okay, this is a great movie, but after watching this movie, it was like, I feel fulfilled. I don't know how else to put that, because like
because I mean, we went to see that first Justice League in theaters, excited to see it, and it's like.
But I'm saying like this movie fulfilled me more than the Avengers movies. You know what I mean? Like there was something about this movie that made you feel like you guys get it, whereas the Marvel ones were like, we're selling to an audience. Like,
well, yeah, the thing with the Marvel or Disney, they're good at getting everyone to come.
Exactly.
Versus these sort of ones, I feel like either you're a fan of these characters,
you had to be a fan to like
really
this,
understand who they are as people, and I feel like that's what this movie was, like really for the fan base, and that's actually who started it. It was the fan base who started we want the Snyder cut.
Yeah, totally. And but that's what's cool. Again, it's like that's why it feels more fulfilling than the other ones, because it's like you didn't cheap out on this one. It's like you guys really, if you are a hardcore comic book fan, you will appreciate this movie. But
Yeah.
that also explains why people also gave it a 3. Remember, like that other like they're like, oh,
spot.
if you're a fan of watching paint dry, watch this movie. And then we were watching it, and I was like, this is not boring at all. Like, this is, if you really like this stuff, you will love this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And then what was the other one that gave it 8?
IGN gave it 8.
Yeah, so
and
there
then
you
the
go.
other reviewers, they don't really give numbers, but they were pretty excited with the movie, the one that we watched.
Yeah. So
Right.
it's weird that.
I mean, overall, the audience seems to like it. What I've seen.
Yeah, so it's weird that that one person gave it a 3.
Everyone has their own opinion, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Bad opinions, no. Yeah. Anything else about the movie that you're like really stoked on?
I like that. I mean, it wasn't even. It was more of a like the Batman movie bringing everyone together versus has nothing to do with Superman, right? And I think Justice League generally was more focused around Batman is the one wanting to build.
Oh yeah, he's like
something.
the leader. Yeah, totally. Well, Superman too, but it was mostly Batman. It was Wayne.
It was Wayne's like satellite thing.
Yeah,
right?
that they were on.
Yeah, it's all him. I mean, he paid for it all, but like.
Yeah.
I think it made more sense for that to be more around, like around Batman, but it's more around the other characters he's bringing in, right? Like Superman had no dialogue. We just know that this guy is a god. So.
Oh, that was the other thing. Like when they brought Superman back. Well, all right, so when Darkseid was like, or Steppenwolf, he was like, "There's no lanterns here. There's no Kryptonians."
Right.
And it was like, how strong are these Green Lantern people and Kryptonians? We had the Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds. It's bad. We didn't really get to see like the true power of a lantern person. But in this movie, you saw the true power of a Kryptonian. And Superman is basically a god. That was like insane. Like one of my favorite scenes is when they were all trying to fight him. And then the Flash was moving at like that high speed, and then he moved at the same speed as the Flash, and it was like, oh, you are freakishly a god. If you decided to go south, this would go bad really quickly.
Right.
You know,
like
nobody could stop you. Yeah. I also like that they explained the gauntlets for Batman, because remember like the laser with his eyes, because it was like, you would have died right away, Batman.
Yeah.
But he had like those shields.
Yeah,
now, so
it's,
like,
again,
right,
all
cool.
those little things. It's like they were working on something to
Yeah.
handle these powerful beings, right? So it's like it makes sense. Alfred is working on something.
Sense. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And the interaction
So
with
intricate.
everyone, I don't think there was any of that, like where they all met Alfred.
Oh yeah, true.
Those little things. Yeah.
Oh, actually, another thing that I thought was interesting about this movie was it was like a Lord of the Rings epic. Remember, like there was like the elves, the people from Mordor, the dwarves, right? In Lord of the Rings, and then in this one it had like the Atlanteans, the Amazonians, the humans, you know, and then the Atlanteans versus the Amazonians. Like, remember she was like, I never thought I'd be talking to an Atlantean like this or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, well, half Atlantean, you know. You saw like that there was so much of a backstory there. There was like a history. That's why I said a living world.
Yeah.
It was like when you watch this, it's like everything was so fleshed out that you knew that it wasn't just superficial.
And it made sense. Like, why were the mother boxes on Earth?
Yes,
that's another thing that was explained, right? Why
because they tried to take it over before they worked together and they defeated Darkseid.
Right. Yeah.
So the boxes got left.
I like the glimpse, or the little glimpse of showing us Green Lantern.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting too. It reminded me of, it really was like a Lord of the Rings, because Sauron, right? They all work together to fight off Sauron.
Yeah.
They all work together to fight off Darkseid. It's the exact same story.
Yeah.
That is actually what it is. It's like it's basically the exact same story. Not really, because like it's about Ring, but you know.
I mean, a lot of these times is like these are epics have a similar concept.
Yeah.
Right? With these different characters and how do they revolve around each other. Right?
Yeah, totally.
So, it was pretty good, but that ending with the epilogue, but we can't get anymore.
Yeah, it is what it is. I really like how Martian Manhunter visited Batman at his house.
Yeah.
And then Bruce was like, oh, cool. Like somebody else who's going to join us. It's
Right.
like the fight isn't over kind of thing, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like they really set up the way. Even in the epilogue when he was like, but it turned out to be a dream, so we don't know if it's real. We don't know if these things are real or they're like, because throughout the whole movie there was like these moments where you were looking into the future about a dark future where Superman turned evil. Was that their fear or is that something that's going to happen?
Well, it's like again, I guess it's up to you, because they were even Darkseid said he would come. Well, we'll do it the old ways.
Right.
So I don't know how Batman is getting visions, if they are visions.
True. Yeah.
Right. Because he had it with the Flash, so maybe there's answers to this
In the next
in
few
the
movies,
next things where
true.
it was like,
yeah, what's going on with his mind? Like Zack Snyder's mind. Like, what did he think up? You know?
Because what I read was they planned out like 5 movies with Zack Snyder for the DC universe.
Okay.
So they planned out a story with connecting all of them. So it ended. You know what I mean? Like we couldn't see the full completion of it.
Yeah, true.
But there was something there.
But isn't it more beautiful that it doesn't end? Because then you can fill it in with your own mind.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
I
think a lot of people are gonna do like fan art or fan stories of
fan fiction.
Fan fiction, that's what it's called. Yeah, of what it all means. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Because like
or they can continue it in comic book formats, and
that's true
there's
too.
another thing. Yeah,
that's true too. Yeah, you're right. Because like if the next ones weren't as epic as this one, you'd feel like disheartened. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, at this point, you put out the 4-hour thing. I think this is as epic as it can.
I know. What's the next one? Like a
potentially
6-hour epic? You're like,
Right.
oh my god.
And then it's like, oh, what happened in that epilogue part 2? It's like, was it Lois? Was it Martha? I would think it's Lois.
Yeah. I would think it's Lois too.
Yeah. I mean, like, who's the girl, right? Or like, who are we talking about?
Well, they kept saying it was Lois the whole time. Remember, like the Flash.
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
key was
Even
Lois.
yeah.
So it had to have been Lois.
Yeah, it should have been Lois. It would have been Lois. Yeah.
The with the Joker and Batman's one, I was waiting for that line. This is we live in a world. We live in a society.
Yeah.
But it didn't come. So, but I mean, that's whatever. That would have been a weird part in the movie. Like, I like better what they had for Joker when he was like teasing out Batman.
Again, there might maybe it's even though we got that part is probably cut out. So I wonder if maybe it's a 4.5 hour long. You know what I mean?
The dialogue.
Everything.
They cut out the dialogue. Actually, when I was reading like something after it, they were like, Jared Leto was just riffing for that whole lead up.
Right.
So like that's all just extended footage, like
Yeah,
deleted scenes.
I think it makes sense for like trailers, because then people fall on that hype of like, oh, you said it, because it was a meme. We live in a society, so it's like I think they were playing into that.
Right. True. Yeah, that's interesting. When you think about it, when you watch these movies, it's even like when I'd make those like trip videos, right? You're only getting like the 2 minutes that I'm choosing to cut up, but I have so much like catalog of footage. Like they must have so much catalog of footage too that they're not showing us, you know?
Well, if it doesn't mix with the rest of the story.
Yeah, totally.
There's right ways to edit, and then there's wrong ways to edit.
Like the Josh Whedon's sabotage.
League version.
Josh, yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
So, do you think it could have improved anywhere else?
No, I think it was good.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect superhero movie. And Wob was like, he was like, even better than Christopher Nolan. And I'm like, well, technically Christopher Nolan was a producer in this movie, so we can kind of say Christopher Nolan was a part of this movie.
He was part of the even Man of Steel. Like, he was executive producer.
Okay, so there you go.
He's been in it.
So technically, it was a Christopher Nolan-ish movie, like tangentially.
Right.
If you look at like Christopher Nolan's movie of The Dark Knight, I wouldn't even say, like, Christopher Nolan would say it himself too, because I saw the interviews, but those weren't superhero movies. Those were movies about people.
Right.
what they would do in those circumstances.
Yeah.
It's less about the superhero and more about the humanity. So that's why, like, when Wob's like, oh, better than Dark Knight, I'm like, yeah, because those weren't really superhero movies to me. Like that those were like real movies. Like you could see if you were rich and you had like this trauma as a kid, what would you do?
It was super realistic.
Yeah,
that's
super realistic.
Yeah.
But this one was like, no, we're going full hog superhero.
Yeah.
So that's why this one is the best superhero movie of all time for me. Would you agree? Best superhero movie of all time?
I think so.
Yeah, all right. It's because it's got Superman, it's got Batman,
it's got like everyone's strengths in it, like what they all actually are good at.
Aquaman being really cool.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'm a big Superman fan, so I was just glad to see him full out.
Yeah, and they did Black Superman too.
Yeah, and the black suit. That yeah. I think everybody was waiting for that one. So.
Yeah, true. Was that in the original Justice League?
Nope.
Oh, they kept it red and whatever? How did they fix that? Color grading?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't think there was a black one. I don't remember.
Oh, ever? He just did that post?
Probably. Oh, no. I mean, like, for this movie, I think he did it with the black suit.
But then in Josh Whedon's
Whedon's thing, I think he removed it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just delete that.
I can't remember. Anyways, yeah. But it was good to see. Because it's supposed to be the black suit. Because I know Superman.
Yeah, that's the story. Yeah,
that is the
die.
story. Yeah. And he comes back in the black suit.
And even how they brought back Superman was really cool. Like, they dug up, like, it was so fleshed out.
Sense.
They dug up his body. They're like, we're going to use the same energy that we used for Cyborg on Superman.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
That is how you would do that.
Yeah. We know it worked on bringing back him, so it could potentially work, whatever they're talking about.
Yeah. But then they were like, oh, should we bring him back? And then Batman's like, we need him back.
Do we know he's going to be the same or not? Because it was, I get it. That was good questions to ask. And he wasn't exactly the same at first. Just had to bring his memories back.
I like how, if you like superhero movies, you should watch DC because they're mature. But then Marvel, the superhero movies are great, but they are really for a general audience. Like, anyone could watch a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah, that's what Disney is good at. They know how to get a wider audience.
Yeah. But like, DC was a specialized audience. You know what I mean? It's like,
I think
it's very niche.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. That's what. Well, these ones were. Yeah.
But even like Watchmen. Watchmen's DC.
I think Watchmen.
No, Dark Horse, something like that.
I think it's DC actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think so. But I mean, like Christopher Nolan's Batman. That's an everyone.
Oh, Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Yeah.
It's still kind of dark though.
It was dark, but it was a bit more like, I can see like a regular audience getting into too, because it was in the realism world.
Right.
I think that's why.
But I mean, it wasn't a wider audience like Marvel.
No. It's generally what Warner Brothers focuses on. Is they're very much different style than Disney. Like, they have specific types of stories they like to do, which is like normally about a one person.
True, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Right. So, and a bit more darker.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, speaking of wider audiences, also what came out this week was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Okay, before we go into the wide audience, like, applicability and how anybody could watch this, there was one scene in the first episode where I was like, oh, you're trying to go DC now? Where he killed him by stabbing him in the neck.
Oh, right. Yeah.
When I saw that one scene, I was like, oh, well, that's new. Like, can't believe you just stabbed him in the neck.
A little bit. I think they are also.
They're trying to like put one.
I think they're playing with that line.
Yeah.
How far can they go?
Yeah.
Right. because even though they have now Deadpool, they're allowing it to still be rated R. So
right, but that's their like one.
that's
thing.
their one thing, but they're pulling. They're following a line here. We're trying to see where they can go, where they can't go.
Yeah, totally.
For these characters now.
And I liked that they did that with Bucky, but that was interesting when they first showed Bucky's character, and then he was like killing all those people. I was like, wait, what? What's going on? But it was like a dream. I was like, okay, cool. All right. I really liked the character stories in this one. Like they made them so human.
Human, yeah.
I was gonna say realistic, but yeah,
I would say human.
No,
yeah.
It's human. They humanized the characters so well. I really like this one, and it was like a movie, dude. Like all the graphics were like so good. But you're saying
I don't know. I think they will release one, like after this all done, how they filmed it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that, and I'm wondering if it's the same technology they did in Mandalorian.
right.
And if that's the case, that's pretty cool. Like I can see the evolution and how that this type of technology is making things that are like TV look like movies.
right, because all right. So basically, what Vish is talking about is it's a giant screen that follows you as you're filming it.
Yeah.
So you're not actually building sets anymore. You're just on like a screen. Is it even a green? It's not a green screen, right?
No. It's an actual LED screen. It's all like Unreal Engine, like what you see in video games, but just for the background stuff.
Right. So they can make it seem like you're in freaking the desert.
Yeah.
But you don't have to go and film in the desert.
Yeah, and it helps with like a lot of things, like lighting and stuff, how it reflects off of you. Because if you use a green screen, it's like green is reflecting off of you, right? But this one is, because it's LED, actual setting, locations. It's like you're getting actual light, what it would actually be like, off the character.
I think I still have it, like a video of it. I haven't posted it yet, but I'll probably post it. So if you're listening to this, you can watch that video of what we're talking about. But yeah, it's a way to cut costs and a way to keep quality high.
I think that so that's like this is where the technology has gone to the point where it is now cheaper to do this.
Right. You just gotta go. You just need to pay someone to go on location, film the location.
Yeah, not even then. Not necessarily. If you can build a great like CG.
Oh, true CG. I didn't even think about that.
CG,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You don't even need to go to location. Just build it with like 3D rendering or whatever.
Yeah.
True.
And it follows and it moves, changes way. Like it's really interesting how this technology works.
Yeah.
It's hard to
like
you have to see it to understand it.
Yeah. Basically, the background follows you in a way that as you're filming it, it's almost like I was trying to explain it, but yeah, you kind of have to watch it. It's sort of like when we were describing the Tesla, and it's like you just gotta drive it. It's like hard to explain.
It's one of those things that's like it's more about experiencing it or like seeing, like when you watch a YouTube video, like they're doing a lot of that when Mandalorian was coming out, like explaining how they did the background and everything, because it would follow the character and stuff like that, or more like it follows the camera where the camera is going, so it can pan different ways. Or zoom in, zoom out, it's like as if it was you're living in a 3D space.
Right.
That's what it looked like.
Right. Yeah.
In front of it. So.
Yeah. All right. So tech aside, this show has a lot of potential, and I love how they put GSP in it.
Right.
Like that was really cool because like UFC fans, so. It's cool to see fighters making money outside of fighting by being like in things.
I mean, it's fun to see features. Thinking of it like a song, like when someone's featuring in it.
Oh, true. Yeah,
it's kind of like that,
right,
and like seeing, I know who that guy is.
Yeah,
it's like
true.
For me, it was like seeing Bill Burr in Mandalorian, and like.
Oh yeah. But this was okay. Wait, before we move on,
let's go.
The GSP was also in the second Captain America movie.
So he was really connected to already in the universe.
He's already in the universe.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's the same guy he was playing because it was a Russian ship in the first movie and now he's speaking French in this one. So it's like, I don't know.
That's the thing. Maybe people won't remember him, but they're bringing him back on as.
Or if you do remember him, now they're going to flesh out that story.
I could, yeah, I think
because like he didn't die, so he might become like a
right,
bad guy in this
right.
movie.
Okay.
You know, so I do like that Marvel, DC, Disney is doing that. They're putting all these, like extra celebrities in their stuff, like
This was
Mandalorian
right.
with Bill Burr and Gina Carano,
Well,
and
no,
then
she's not there anymore.
I know, but she was, but yeah, that's too bad. But Marvel doesn't play, bro. But with like them putting GSP in it, it makes you wonder like who else are they gonna put in it? And this is actually the first Disney like series that I liked that is mainstream. So
Okay.
Mandalorian, I couldn't finish it. I didn't like the acting. WandaVision, couldn't do it. I didn't like the cheese factor. But this one, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, this is almost like a movie. This is like a. This is
How far?
to,
To question. How far did you get in WandaVision?
like, I don't even think I finished episode 1.
Well, if you go based on episode 1 and you say cheese factor, I can understand that, but there was a reason for that.
Okay, so you're saying that I should watch till what?
Well, the one if we do a spoiler alert here on WandaVision.
Okay. I don't know any spoiler.
What I'm saying in WandaVision, she's playing out a story.
Okay.
And almost each episode is a different era of sitcoms that she grew up on loving.
Okay.
And it's not actually, the story is not in the sitcom. It's happening outside. Like,
okay,
they're trying to stop her, and Vision is involved.
Vision's trying to stop her as well.
Yeah, once her creation of Vision realizes this is not real.
Okay.
So like that's the thing, because she's like a witch, right? So
yeah.
So I guess she created this world that everybody was stuck in.
Okay.
And they're trying to get out. And they're
I get
right.
that.
I for me, I really like that. I really liked that story, and I actually liked to see those different
styles,
the sitcom things, and doing the different styles, just because it was artistic in general to see that.
Okay. So you like movies for movie's sake. You'll watch like the weirdest movies, and I'm just like, why are you watching that? But you enjoy movies. I don't actually enjoy movies. I just enjoy like high adrenaline junkie things,
Okay.
right? So like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, right out. It was like,
right. It starts with that.
it starts with
right
high
away.
octane.
That's true. That's
boom,
true.
boom, 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 boom. Like, why do I like Fast and Furious? You'll watch Fast and Furious and be like, this is so stupid. But for me, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, high octane. So, in terms of an art piece, I get what you're saying about WandaVision, but I just
guess
can't
so.
do it.
Right. Okay, that's fine. So I think we're just saying what our personal preferences.
Even like, I'm sure it's great, but like as like a story,
Mm-hmm.
but in terms of like high octane, it didn't deliver for me because I'm into
it's
that
not
kind of stuff.
it's not like that.
Yeah, but just like
It's more drama based.
Mandalorian too was not high octane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, sure, he's a bounty hunter, but it was like kind of slow.
Yeah,
the action scenes weren't even like, you weren't like, oh, dude, these guys know martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, okay, he like tangentially knows martial arts, but you should focus on the story.
Right.
In this, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like they had the martial arts, but they also had the humanity in it. So I was like, oh, you're merging the two.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, which is what I like, the humanity aspect. I don't mind that action too. I do see the point in that. Like I do like those two. I guess it is.
Yeah. But like, if you had a choice, you'd focus more on the movie and the story aspect of it. Whereas you can give me like for me, Too Fast, Too Furious was a brilliant movie. The story is so dumb, but I just love Too Fast, Too Furious because like they were racing the cars and like.
I mean, I grew up loving action movies. I was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, so.
Yeah, but I mean,
and then the point came where I don't know. I started focusing on story.
You're like, yeah, there's only so much you can satiate your caveman brain on.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyways, yeah, it was really good to see fleshing out, like, because there were like really side characters.
Oh yeah. All right. So this is the thing. That I watched the Hot Ones interview with that main character.
Hot Wings.
No, Hot Ones.
It's called Hot Ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
And
they eat hot wings.
They eat hot wings.
Okay.
It's called Hot Ones.
Okay, gotcha.
And in it, he was saying how like the main character of a movie, you can't go as deep. You can go deep, but like it's the tertiary characters that
Well, yeah,
are the
because there's
coolest.
exactly because you have so many. I mean, especially in that one, they had so many different characters. They had to only focus on a few, which were the main ones.
Yeah,
And they can't really go too far into these side ones, right? So
right.
they
And
played roles, but they didn't play. Like we didn't need to necessarily know everything about them.
totally. And he was saying that there's more humanity that can be had in those characters.
Right.
But after watching episode 1, I get what he means. Because like
exactly.
like when they went to the bank and then he's like, how do you guys make your money?
Right.
I was like, oh, nobody's ever asked that question before.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's a tremendous amount of goodwill and like people want to do favors for us. But it's like, yeah, how do superheroes make money?
So that's the thing. Again, it's coming back to.
But you can't say that for Captain America. Like, you can't put that in a movie.
No. I know. A movie has a limited time as well. And
True.
in a TV, when you make it episodic, you have more time to explain a lot of things.
Right.
That you can't do it in a movie format.
Right, totally. And I think that's what he was saying in that interview. He's like I get it now after watching that episode. It's like, yeah, you can. There's more you can do with these characters now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because they're not the star of a movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like a series show.
Right.
Yeah, I really like that. Even Bucky's character, I love how he went on the date with that Asian girl, and then you found out that like he's the one who killed the guy he's hanging out with, like killed the son of the guy he's hanging out with all the time. He's trying to make amends for his sins.
Right. I mean, even that, it's like, oh, who is he? Like, you know what I mean?
There's so much humanity there.
Yeah. Like, who? Why is he hanging out with this old man? Right? It's like,
yeah.
Then it made sense. It's like, oh, right. Like there's so much in it. Like you, for me, it's like you're rooting for these characters to get better. And,
yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like, especially when you build up these backstories.
Yeah.
Right. Seeing Falcon's family and
how
what they're dealing with,
or how Bucky was going to therapy.
That
was so.
And that's true because it's like
humanity, bro.
He was broken.
Yeah, and he was like, I only found some peace in Wakanda, but now I'm here.
Yeah.
Interesting. And, it took place 6 months after Endgame.
Right.
So that's cool.
But
too,
even though
it's
it's 6 months after Endgame, a lot of these characters, they were missing for 5 years.
Right.
So that was another thing, like coming back to,
like how his sister was like, "Oh, now you're, you can't just like come back and realize you don't know what it was like. I was surviving for 5 years."
Yeah, that's true. So like these are other things that's happened.
But that is what they did in Endgame. Remember, in Endgame, there was like those. There's so much humanity in Endgame too. Remember, like we got to keep going. Like, Rogers, like Captain America during the meeting.
Yeah. But it's like it's having an impact. At least they can show it in these movies or these shows. It's like how
did the world survive after?
Yeah, and what levels? How much of an impact? Because we saw a little bit of that in the Spider-Man one.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man. True.
So it's more other characters. How there's so many ways to tell a story too. So
actually, I was gonna say this, but the cool thing about MCU is that once you make it into MCU, you're kind of set for life, right? Because you have so much room to grow, and like that's your character. You know, like we all know you as that character. If we were to switch you out now, it'd be a little weird. You know, like Hulk when they made the Hulk movies, and then they switched it out, and now he's a totally different Hulk in the. Yeah. I think they were trying to find their footing.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. They have to. There's so many things involved in that. It's like, how do you keep an actor to keep coming back to play the same character?
Totally, yeah.
For so many years, right?
Yeah.
I know it's money, but also some people don't want to. But like
friggin' Captain America. He was saying that. I was watching his interview, and he was like, Scarlett Johansson and what's that guy's name? Chris Evans.
Yeah.
So both of them, they were saying like, yeah, you just like you kind of just you become that character, but like, yeah, you need to try something new as an actor.
Yeah, I mean, especially like Scarlett, like she did so many different
Jojo
types.
Rabbit, and then the
Yeah,
divorce
yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Because you needed like
Mhm.
that, like range, you
Right.
know.
But
Or
it's
else
like the
becomes-
thing is like she did Jojo Rabbit, but that director for Jojo Rabbit is the same director for
Yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
So there's you're
It's
still
like
in
there's
the
still
connected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I brought that up because I saw Owen Wilson, or is either Owen Wilson or Luke Wilson. They're in Loki. They're a main character in Loki.
Okay.
But he, like, nobody wanted to hire him because he was like a risk, because he like attempted suicide.
Right.
And then for a long time he didn't do any movies, and then I just saw him in this one. I was like, oh, you're back.
Nice.
You know, so it's like, it's cool that he's in that career now. Like, he's set. Like, that's what I meant. Like, if you land a role, you're set now. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You're like,
I mean,
life
even though
matters.
they ended Loki, or he died, but then whatever happened in that Endgame.
Did he die?
He died at the end in Infinity War, like technically dead, right?
Like dead?
Yeah, he killed him.
Who killed?
Thanos.
When? Oh, right. In the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he came, like when they did in the end game, when they were going back in time, he took the Tesseract and disappeared.
Right.
So I think that's the Loki story. Where did he go?
Oh, because that changed the timeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, what did they say in? It was in Endgame. When you go back in time, you're not changing your own timeline. You're creating a whole new timeline. And I think maybe that's what they'll get into for Spider-Man, because the Spider-Verse, right? It's like different timelines.
Yeah.
Like they think that they're going back to their original timeline, but it's like, no, you've already changed this timeline forever.
Yeah. Now it makes playing with time is very difficult.
Remember he said, like,
in
remember Ant-Man was like, so Back to the Future was a lie, because like they would go back in time, they change something in their own timeline. It's like, but the Hulk explained it the best, where it's like, you're not changing your timeline, you're affecting another timeline.
Right.
So maybe it is
divergent lines.
Yeah. So maybe Loki's story is like his own.
Oh, I'm interested to see how that goes too. That's
how they play it out.
Yeah, that'll be after this one. So
because that Loki's dead, but they did that with what's her name, the green girl in Guardian of the Galaxy.
The green girl.
Remember? Damn.
Oh, right. Gamora,
thank you. Like, that timeline, Gamora's dead, but this new Gamora is alive.
Yeah, and she's never met him.
Exactly. So it's like, that's how,
right.
That's again how they explained it,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
MCU's really, it's great. I mean,
it is a great thing. It's not like
we can't put DCU versus MCU. Like, they're both like equally great, but at different things.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm excited to see the rest of Falcon.
I know,
the
right?
Falcon and
Me
the
too,
Winter Soldier.
It's too long.
I just call it the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, well, why you skip over the Falcon, bro? He's the main guy. Oh, I liked at the end of this episode, they brought back Captain America.
Well, yeah, I wonder.
Remember they were asking him, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just... did that happen in the comics, or like did they... I don't know. Like something like bringing back just a person. Like they would always be...
Did he die in the comics? I don't remember.
I don't remember. But like having someone in that... with that mantle or that position.
But made sense. You need like a figure, right?
Yeah,
like
it's just it's just a costume now, right? Doesn't matter who. I don't know who's...
Who was that guy? I was like...
I wonder...
weird.
Yeah. We'll see what they...
Oh, you know what they need to bring in that they still haven't done yet? And you're alluding to it, X-Men. Remember WandaVision and her brother?
Yeah, there's a little bit of that, but...
Because they brought that actor back, so it's like...
They brought that actor back, so there's like little hints
together?
at that. Right. I don't know when the X-Men stuff starts. Either I think they're building the story. They're trying to figure out how to...
Integrate them?
Maybe
that'll be a part of... what do they call them? remember how like MCU breaks it down into
Yeah,
like
phases.
phases. Thank you. Yeah. So maybe it's like the next phase is X-Men.
Yeah, introducing the X-Men.
But which would make sense if Galactus is going to be like they never said, but if the next bad guy after Thanos will be Galactus.
Yeah.
Because who else do you go to for like a really dangerous thing? It would just be Galactus.
Yeah.
But Galactus, the primary thing of Galactus was Silver Surfer,
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, and X-Men.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're building up something.
Could you imagine if when they introduce X-Men, they start doing like they alluded to it in Civil War, but they start doing like Sentinels?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because they haven't done that yet. Remember, like the whole.
well, they did that, right? In the X-Men ones.
Yeah, in the X-Men ones, but I mean, like
Not in here.
not
Yeah,
in
yeah,
like
yeah.
the MCU,
Right.
you know. So that'd be really cool. They bring back
Mhm.
Sentinels, and the reason why is because like superheroes are becoming or mutants are becoming too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be kind of cool. I'm excited to see that because it, like, when you go back to those '90s X-Men show, is like all about racism, right? Like they were trying to round up all the mutants because they were too powerful,
Right.
like, and then the mutants were like, we need to build a organization that's going to like that's what Magneto was. Like Professor X was the kumbaya mutant, and then Magneto was the like, let's go against humans. We're better than.
It felt like, yeah. I mean, I would kind of relate that to like a Martin Luther to a Malcolm X.
True, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but then they do come to a point where they do agree with each other too. So.
Well, which one, Magneto and?
Yeah, I mean, like even both of them, even
Oh.
in reality, I'm talking about Malcolm X.
Maybe that is where the writers got their ideas from,
Maybe.
which makes sense. Yeah, because like that's probably like 90s. What happened right before 90s was the
Right.
movements.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of movements, like how I segued that, I was planning it to get to this moment. So there is this new thing right now, which is the Stop Asian Hate, and one of the things that really brought up this movement was the not bathhouse, the massage
Parlor.
things.
Yeah, massage spas.
Yeah.
That was multiple of those places were shot up by this one person.
Right. And before that, it was like tangentially there. Like you had like, it was building up.
Well, it was tangentially there in the sense, yes, the news would pick it up here and there. You'd feel like it's going up, but I think the reports in general have been going up, right? Like actual like police reports of people.
Asian crime.
Yeah.
Or like Asian hate crimes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that led up to this, which is the massage parlor places.
Mm-hmm.
That like, this was like, for lack of a better descriptor, but this was like our George Floyd moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like this was like where we all banded together and we're like, okay, we need to stop this now, you know. The only thing that was kind of odd about it is that it was built off an incorrect narrative, you know. Like he was saying it wasn't a hate crime,
right? I think it there's both ways here. We don't know either way, let's say. Like,
okay, well, he said it though.
No, I understand what he said.
Okay,
but he can say whatever he wants. But what does the investigation show? Because if it ends up showing up that maybe he did,
okay,
what I'm saying is to wait till we know the facts.
Okay. And the facts were that he had visited these places
multiple times.
That's how he knew where they were.
Right.
And he was saying that he did this because he was like sexually frustrated and he didn't want the temptation.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, so there's something wrong in his psyche already.
Mm-hmm.
And this was used as a jumping off point for a movement that's important, but I think the facts of this case, like I totally agree with Stop Asian Hate, just like I agree with like BLM,
of course, yeah.
But just like,
incorrect
narrative. Like just look at it.
Right. So this was a big news that was then turned into a Stop Asian Hate thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Even I don't know, like that message does need to be out there, of course. But now connecting it with this, with that, I don't know. Like, is that a right? You know what I mean? Do we know the facts of that to
use it
as that, or is it okay to do that kind of thing because you do want this message out and you're taking something that's already like a popular thing in the sense like, oh, this is big, like a big news thing, and then connecting that to it, and then that becomes bigger.
Right. I think what we're getting at is like, you don't want to piggyback on disinformation.
Okay.
Right? Or it's like, you don't, but it's an important cause, but you don't want to build,
because it get tainted.
Exactly, that's what I mean. So if it comes out, it's like, well, it wasn't this, and then people are like, oh, they're just gonna use that for fuel for their fire. You know, it's like, it wasn't even about that.
Yeah.
You know, so what I think this whole thing is about, and like, initially I was thinking like, well, it should just be switched to like stop all hate, right? But then as time progressed, I was thinking about it more, and then I saw something today that like really sparked it in me, where that the cop was like, oh, he was having a bad day, and then like he had previously purchased that like China virus T-shirt.
The cop
that said that is like, why are we not addressing the real issue here, which is like, I guess I'm not addressing the real issue by saying this. It's like, because the way I'm going to phrase it is like, I want you to put it together in your head as a listener, which is, okay, Black Lives Matter, yes. Who's the cause of that? Stop Asian hate, yes. Who's the cause of that? Nobody's directly pointing a finger on what the cause is, which is almost like white supremacist ignorance, like a lack of education on, because like there are, like, I don't want to say like all white people are the problem, because like, no, there are a lot of white people that believe in this cause and like they're really great people. I know a lot of them, but it's like, it's the ignorant ones in the power, in the vacuum of news that are in that system of like white supremacy and like lack of education that are acting in this way. Like, what was that movie you were saying?
I forgot the name of it, but it was who was a KKK member, and like the story of it, I think we mentioned it before, but the KKK member eventually realized that him and his black brothers or fellow people, right, that they're one and the same. There's no difference, right? That we are, like, there's no need for this racism between race, like having
exactly. And it was close contact, which provided you with education.
Yeah.
You know, I think
because when you live separately and you only think separately, like when we're different, oh, we shouldn't be together, all that kind of thing, then that keeps brewing the hate.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
When exactly. When you have friends of different people, meet people that are of different cultures and races, then you realize we're all the same.
Yeah, totally. And I think Killer Mike, the rapper for Run the Jewels, I think he said the exact same thing. It's like, it's not about like you versus me. It's if we just like spend more time with one another, we will see this. It's like education. It's like a lack of ignorance, you know?
Yeah.
If you live in a town where you have like no black friends and all you hear is like black people are evil, what are you going to think? Like, you can't hate on the person who is thinking that way, because we're not in their shoes. If 24 hours of a day you're hearing negative like things about another race, you're going to think that way, because all you know is your race. But then if you put yourself in a situation where it's like, oh, they're not all that bad. It's like when we were kids, right? Like when I was in elementary school, again, always being sub, but like, you know, everyone who isn't Christian is going to hell in my elementary school. And I was like, well, but Vish is a nice person. How is he going to go to hell? So like that broke that cycle for me, where it's like, oh, other religions aren't evil.
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right.
It's just that one religion that's telling everyone that every other religion is evil.
Well, it's not only the one, unless you categorize Abrahamic as one.
That's what I know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean it's a trilogy, right? So we're all
Right,
talking about
right.
the same characters. But what I think is, I think this might be the growing pains of the death of that ignorant white supremacist.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
That I think that's the thing. It's white supremacy. That's what still is lingering from the. It's still there. Not I mean the old days. It's still there, right? That's what needs to be. And I feel what's happened is that I think a lot of them were closeted, were hidden away.
right, and then they had
And
a president.
and Trump, I feel like really because there was a lot of those types of things. Like I'm free to say whatever I want now, right?
Totally, yeah.
So that someone like Trump getting in office made people who were closeted like
Come out.
come out.
Yeah. It gave them the power to say what they.
And then
were
he
really
kept saying,
thinking.
he kept calling it China virus.
Yeah.
And then they made a shirt like that. And then who would buy those shirts? So this
White supremacists who thought the same. So it's like, it's almost a good and a bad thing. I can't remember which rapper I was listening to that was saying it, or maybe it was Jamie Foxx. I can't remember who it was, but they were like, I'd rather know my enemy than have them closeted, because at least you could see it and be like, oh, I'm not gonna hang out with you.
Yeah.
But like if you're like hanging out with somebody, you don't even know that they're like secretly a white supremacist. You're like, oh, I can get like pretty screwed over here, you know?
Right.
And I think that's a good thing that this is going on, but it shows us how far we still have to go. That there is this idea of like white supremacy. That's really what it is. When it comes down to it, it's closeted white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Through a lack of education.
Yeah.
And built up ignorance over time.
Yeah, I think it's the whole built up ignorance. They don't even know that they have it. I would think. Some
exactly.
people,
Yeah. You don't know you have a problem until somebody points out that you have this problem.
Yeah.
Because we can't introspect. Like, people are like, oh, just meditate, right? And then you could find, all you can do is focus on the things that are within your mind, within your growth. When you meditate, you're only able to reflect on things that you consciously know about.
Right.
But if you don't consciously know there's a problem here,
then how do you
fix the problem?
Yeah.
You know? And I think that's what this whole BLM and Stop Asian Hate thing is. It's not really about these lives matter and like we need to stop this hate. It's more about like, let's re-educate society. Let's educate society, period.
Yeah.
That should be the hashtag. Yeah. Education is key.
I mean, like it comes down to who I didn't fact check this, but I think it's what I've heard. It was like, which union supported Trump?
I don't know which one.
The police unions.
Oh, really? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because they're the ones trying to keep everyone in power, bro. The white supremacy in power. It's weird because, okay, you came, like, the colonials came into a foreign land and took it over from the natives. Yeah. Right? This is history. And then from there, you built a colonial civilization that spawned white supremacy. Why white supremacy? Because all colonials at the time were white.
Right.
And from that, now you're having a hard time accepting that through immigration, different cultures are coming into your country.
Okay.
And because of that, that closeted white supremacy that are thinking in the old ways without immigration and without globalization, they're trying to hold on to that old ideology of white supremacy, white people being in power.
Yeah.
The irony is, if you go to their grocery stores, 90% of those things are made in China.
Yeah.
Or 90% of those things are imported. Yeah. So what white supremacy are you talking about, bro? Like, you are a minority in a pond that's growing too big, and I feel like this is the last legs of it. You know,
right
after these issues come to light, especially now that it's like Asian Stop Asian Hate, it's like you got 2 versus 1, bro. You have like the black people mad at you. Now you have the Asian community mad at you. And where do all your products come from? China. So you don't want to piss off that person who's supplying you. Like, you know what I mean? If what if China made like a sanction for the US? They're screwed.
Right.
Right? Like,
Yeah, I mean it's a whole different play with the economy. I don't know if China would.
No, but you know what I'm
I
saying?
get
Like,
what you're saying.
it's like if China's like, okay, America's racist, period. We'll only do our dealings with everyone else that's not American.
Hmm.
Like, you're screwed.
Right.
But you know what? Those ignorant white supremacists with lack of education don't look at the label on the things that they buy. They think it's all made in America.
I don't think that.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't think. No. I don't think they think that.
What? That's made in America?
Yeah.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Like, it's just like their ignorance is making them blind to.
I think that's what they hate.
All
though.
power.
I think no. I think that's building more of the hate.
Oh,
Seeing
really?
that things are being made in China more and more.
So then just don't buy from it. That's how economics works.
I know, but now.
But they're ignorant.
But
they don't know.
They need to buy something. So.
That's the hypocrisy of it.
Right.
Like your highly ignorant and lack of education viewpoint is making you hypocritical.
Well, this was the part of the reason why Trump won.
Because
was to deal with China.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like to kick them out or what?
Well, yeah.
To
I mean,
strengthen
who was
their ties?
who was putting on problems for China? It was Trump.
Oh yeah. I watched the Bill Gates documentary, Inside Bill's Brain. He was about to like solve something with China, and then like, Trump stopped it. Yeah. He is the symptom, but not the cause. Donald Trump.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Also, just to go back to that police union thing, it's just like one of the biggest police unions. So I wouldn't say all police. The biggest police union who have like the most amount of cops. They endorsed Trump.
Oh, okay, there you go. The biggest, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is? It's like that KRS-One song.
Yeah.
Where he's like, officer, officer. Officer, overseer, and then he turns it from officer to overseer. Right. It's like, because that's what they are. Like, they're still in power. They're still like the police of, like an overseer on a farm is somebody who made sure that slaves were in line.
Yeah. Right.
Same thing as police.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or maybe that was overseer, officer. I can't remember. Go listen to the song. But yeah.
But we got the message. Yeah, we got the point.
Yeah. So I think we as a society need to realize, like, again, if you don't point out the elephant in the room, the elephant's not going to change. So all of these like Band-Aid hashtags will only go so far until you finally go, oh, white supremacy is the problem. It's not that these lives matter or that we should stop hate. It's like right. You guys.
I think it is
education.
there. It is being said, but I don't know if it's necessarily. It's not in the front of it.
Yeah. So then we should make a new hashtag. Hashtag educate the white supremacist.
Sure.
I'm not gonna start that, but you know what I'm saying.
I understand.
You guys make up your own hashtag, bro. Like, yeah, weird times. But again, I think it's lost. Like now that it's like coming to the forefront, and now that you've got more races against you, I think it's gonna stomp out. You know, let's not forget like the Arabians too, like or Arabians, Afghanis, Middle Eastern people.
Yeah.
They also received a lot of racism during 9/11, remember?
Sure, yeah.
So now you got 3 races against you. You know what I mean?
But they all still make up the minority.
Right, but if the minority can band together, they can overthrow the majority by voting.
Mm-hmm.
Not like don't crazy do those things.
I understand.
Like, literally just go vote. That's it. Just vote for AOC, get her in office. Vote for Bernie Sanders, get him in office. Andrew Yang, get him in office. You know what I mean? Like do it the right way. Like don't throw a trash can.
What we're saying is that I think yes.
If you want things to change, they have to change systemically through the system.
Yeah.
You can't change it by like throwing a trash can or robbing a place. That's gonna do nothing.
Yeah. that's going to create more problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Like more, like not
That'll
wanting to
feed
join
into-
your cause.
That'll also
feel
feed into like the white supremacists being like, see, look, they can't even
Right.
do this correctly,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, oh no, they use the system to defeat the system.
Mm-hmm.
AOC, Andrew Yang, and Bernie Sanders. Let's go. 2024.
And people like them. People like them.
And people like them, yeah.
Because we just know they're the
They're just
popular,
the popular ones,
popular names, but there's a lot of those types of people within their own states.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, final thing. You got any more on that one?
No.
Okay, last thing. We are scarily approaching lockdown 3 with cases hitting. Now we're at almost 2K again in Toronto.
Yeah, just shy of 2K.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, is that Ontario or Toronto?
Oh, Ontario.
Okay, so yeah, we're scarily getting higher and higher with those numbers.
Yeah.
I wonder. Like, I don't even know.
And it's more.
Like, what does that do to businesses, bro?
I know.
Lockdown 3. Ooh.
Well, what we hope is more warmer weather, that they can at least do outdoor dining.
Yeah, but the outdoor industry is done, like crushed. This is going to be year 2 with no. Because I worked in the outdoor industry. Remember when this all started?
No,
And we all
I'm
got let
talking
go?
about like
oof.
restaurants for having outdoor dining.
No,
That actually.
Yeah, no, but I just meant like businesses in general, like places like Mech or like.
Yeah, you know, but those places are like they're for travel stuff, right? So they're not gonna.
That's crippled too.
Yeah, I'm
Nobody's
saying like
vacationing.
generally it builds up. There's a lot more restaurants, right, and a lot more like.
Yeah.
How do you have some economy going? And I think that's like they're opening. Okay, you can start doing the outdoor dining now because it's getting warmer,
Right.
and it's actually like warm weather is not good for COVID, right?
Right.
So
We'll
that's
see.
the thing, and hopefully we're getting warm weather now. Hopefully,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
yeah, totally.
it's
And vaccines, hopefully it slows itself down.
exactly that we need to start implementing the vaccine faster.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I like, you know, when you get that first shot, like there's so many months to get the second shot. So it's like they want to get everyone at least one shot done.
Yeah, they moved my mom's to 4 months
Mhm.
when before it was like 30 days, right?
Right.
Now they're like, okay, you'll be fine for 4 months before you get your second dose.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, I had a dream about it last night, like getting the vaccine,
getting the thing? Yeah.
and I was like so scared. Yo, I hate needles. Damn, numbing cream. If you guys are in Toronto, Loblaws, just hit the pharmacy. Do you have any topical anesthetic?
Mm-hmm.
And then you won't feel that shot. Hopefully. Yeah, I was freaking out yesterday. But anyways, you were saying the app. That's what I wanted to bring
Right.
up.
Okay. So I mean, the COVID app is
Because I downloaded it and I just let it run.
Right,
I don't
but-
even know what it's doing.
COVID app is an epic proportions of failure.
Yeah, so why though? I don't know. Because nobody's doing it, or
Nobody has it.
Oh,
Like
too bad.
like in percentage wise, it's so low to the people that have it. But also, it only works if other people have it and have
Right.
have the Bluetooth on.
Oh,
You have to have Bluetooth on.
okay. Well, I mean, I always have Bluetooth on.
Right.
So.
And that's another thing that people, I don't want to lose battery. They turn
Yeah,
off
exactly.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's it's a failure. It's not going to work.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because I was like, oh, it's no problem for me. I have Bluetooth on. I have like unlimited data, but that's coming from a privileged state of like having like an iPhone 11
Yeah.
with unlimited data. But that's like a 1% of 1%. Like who out there mass wise is using.
And
the
you have to
latest
have the
iPhone.
latest phone too, I
That's what I
believe.
mean. So
So
it's like,
already.
Who's like, you're only getting the affluent to protect themselves.
Exactly.
It
It doesn't.
I get your point.
It's not going to work.
And also, like, how many people are using Samsungs that are old too? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I don't know. All right, well, we'll see where this is all headed. I'm really not looking forward to it. It's like it's invaded my dreams now.
Well, because coming to that point,
I know.
we're getting closer and closer.
I know. And all I see on the news is just people getting like needles in their arm. I'm like, oh my god, this is
That's
like,
all they're showing.
this
Yeah.
is so triggering for somebody who hates needles. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, I know logically the pain is not that bad. I've done martial arts, bro. Like, we've been hurt there, you know. Like, not in jiu-jitsu because they're like choking out, but like in striking arts, like you can like hit a shin. Like if I like go for like a kick and then you block it and then my shin is like destroyed, I'm in so much pain, right? But like I don't know why the thought of like something stabbing me, even if it's small, is so freaky.
Right.
You know?
Right. I mean,
I'm sure I'm not the only one with this fear.
no, I'm pretty sure you're not.
Yeah. But it's like an illogical fear. But that's why I said like numbing cream, guys. Pharmacy, topical anesthetic. I think it's called EMLA, EMLA. I think it's like 5%. That's the one I get. Like the highest dose. Just numb that spot. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
We just gotta. I don't know when. Get the vaccine out. So hopefully, because our numbers are going up. Potentially, we'll hit 4,000 by April.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Yeah. 4,000 is crazy,
have
bro.
to ramp up vaccine nations.
But also,
across
who wants? I mean, we won't get into this because when you get into the politics of what vaccine to choose, like choose whatever you want to choose. But
I don't think we have a choice though.
Yeah. They were saying that like
we don't have a choice.
No, we have a choice by not taking it until the other option is available.
Okay.
So you still have the choice. Like it's not like
I see what you mean.
I'm just gonna walk out and they're just gonna stab me with like another.
No, but
vaccine.
when you walk in, how do you have a? How would you know?
Oh
you
no,
have
I
a
just
choice?
I should wait it out until your vaccine of preference arrives.
Okay.
That's what they're trying to say on
So
the
don't
social
do
media.
that.
They're saying don't wait.
Well,
they're
yeah,
like,
it kind of makes sense to not do that.
But they're like don't be picky about what vaccine you take. Like that's the marketing around it, right?
Yeah.
But that's because people are like, I'm just gonna wait until I get this one, until they offer me this one.
Yeah.
I won't get into that. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know the pros and cons. I'm just saying the optics don't look great for certain brands. That's all.
Again, like that is
marketing, but I get it.
That's a marketing thing, yeah. Because in my opinion, there hasn't been any evidence of having any issues with any of them.
Totally, but the optics don't look great. Other countries are like being like, no, we don't want this one.
No, not exactly. They stopped for a tad bit. Like even Germany stopped. They restarted it. Like they continued it again because there's no evidence.
Yeah, still the optics. Now, because now it's in somebody's mind.
Exactly.
Like
I know that, but they have to be truthful why they're stopping, right?
No, but even optic wise, it's like, okay, this one is 60. I like how we're just not naming the one. Can't get into it. Vaccine politics is not
it
cool.
happened with the other ones too.
Yeah, no, but
it happened. No. We're only gonna remember the latest one. We forgot about the earlier ones.
No, totally, it did.
Right.
It did. But now the other optic is like, which is the highest percentage? Now that's what we're all looking for. Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Or the other one, like it's one shot instead of two.
Well, I don't mind that. That's fine. But I think there was a newer one that's coming out, or that they found out that they were breaking down how effective it is to each strain.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would probably go for that one. That's not
that's
out
what
yet.
I mean. See what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, the optics aren't good. So we need to.
Right. But
that's why I don't want to get into it.
But the thing is, in generally, what shows is like it stops you from getting serious illnesses.
Right.
From the virus.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
For all of them.
But we'll leave it on that. Vaccines work, but there are brands.
Sure. Yeah.
And the optics aren't the greatest for other brands as compared to other brands. That's all.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Until next time, Vish.
All right.
Take it easy.
Hey, good evening.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors: Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Vish.
Peace.